ever wonder why so many great initiatives in schools, businesses, and organizations fizzle out? It's not the idea that's the problem, it's the leadership behind it. Now, hear me out. Too often, leaders are pushed to launch new programs or manage big changes without the clarity, tools, or support they need to carry the vision forward. And when that happens, momentum dies, morale drops, and the mission stalls. Well, at Leadership on the Rocks, we believe successful initiatives start with well-equipped leaders. Our workshops give your leadership team a practical framework packed with tools for clarity, communication, collaboration, and execution. Here's how it works. 1, we listen to your needs. 2, we customize a high-impact leadership workshop just for you. And then 3, you build the kind of leadership culture that gets results and keeps them. Don't let another good idea die on the vine. Empower your leaders to lead with confidence and direction. Book your workshop today at leadershipontherocks.com, because when your leaders grow, everything else follows. And I bring you this poor decision from the leader who thinks that duct tape is a sustainable leadership strategy. These are the folks who slap the quick fix solution on every problem they encounter without ever stepping back to assess the real issue. They're putting motivational quotes over toxic culture. They're offering free pizza instead of fixing broken processes. And they're solving people problems with policies. Don't be that leader, guys. You're better than that. This is the Leadership on the Rocks podcast, where we equip and empower leaders like you to thrive in and create harmony between your professional and personal lives. I'm your host, Bethany Rees, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about, drumroll please, why duct tape isn't your best leadership strategy. Now, I know, I'm a fan of duct tape at home most of the time. Duct tape is a hero in most homes, and I'm telling you, especially mine. It's strong, it's shiny, it's silver. It says, I'm not going to Home Depot today. But when it comes to leadership, using this same fixed tactic over and over again, it's actually a recipe for disaster. And so let me paint a picture for you. Imagine your toilet breaks, right? So you duct tape it. Then your kid's backpack strap breaks, so you duct tape it. And then your bumper is dangling. Yeah, let's use some duct tape. And you know what? But here's the problem. We have a coworker meltdown, performance problems, a toxic culture, and you guessed it, we often duct tape it. Now, eventually, your entire life looks like a Pinterest fail and smells like burnt out leadership. So here's the thing. Duct tape doesn't fix the real issue. It never does. It just hides it long enough, honestly, for it to explode later, maybe at 2 a.m. when you're trying to sleep or enjoy a normal dinner that doesn't involve crisis emails or teenage eye rolls. So let me tell you about common leadership mistakes, especially using duct tape. And so, leaders often do the same things. We get into habits, we get into ruts, or we just have our go-to move. But sometimes we get stuck trying to solve every problem the same way. Usually with the duct tape of control. I'll just do it myself. Ouch. Next we have the common leadership mistake of, air quote, solution of overcompensation. I'll just work longer, harder, and louder. And then third, we have the common leadership mistake of the duct tape of avoidance. If I don't look at it, just maybe it'll fix itself. And finally, we have the common leadership mistake of the duct tape of people pleasing. Sure, I already have a full plate, but why not go ahead and add this to it? I'm sure I can get it done. Control, compensation, avoidance, people pleasing. These are all duct tape solutions. Now, if those sound familiar, congratulations, you're duct taping, and I will be the first to admit I have used all of them. So yes, I too am guilty of duct taping occasionally. For me, the control mistake felt like a truth bomb that just kind of exploded all in my face. And the overcompensation one, honestly, that is like insult to injury for me. Those are my usually go-to duct tape moves, and I'm working against using those duct tape moves. And so now I love this. I love puns. You know this about me. And I want to talk about the poor decision. We are the Leadership on the Rocks podcast. And I love the pun of when things get hard, we call it on the rocks, we have a drink on the rocks. And so now we're going to use a poor decision. And I bring you this poor decision from the leader who thinks that duct tape is a sustainable leadership strategy. These are the folks who slap the quick fix solution on every problem they encounter without ever stepping back to assess the real issue. They're putting motivational quotes over toxic culture. They're offering free pizza instead of fixing broken processes. And they're solving people problems with policies. Don't be that leader, guys. You're better than that. Instead of taping over symptoms, be the kind of leader who pulls out the right tool for the right situation. And yes, even if that means doing it slower, maybe less sexy work of addressing the root cause, it's a little more complex. Because if you don't do that, you'll be duct taping your way to dysfunction. Let me say that one again. If you don't get to the root cause of the problems that you're dealing with, you're going to be duct taping your way to dysfunction. Now, spoiler alert, duct tape does not hold well under pressure or 100 unread emails. So, I really like truth bombs. And with truth bombs, it's a really good quote. And I love John Maxwell. I'm a certified Maxwell team leader. And so I've got to tap into one of his quotes that I just love, because leadership isn't about having, that one perfect skill. It's about having the right tool at the right time. So you need all of these skills. So John Maxwell says it best when he says, leaders become great, not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. But you can't empower others if you're stuck in reactive mode using your roll of duct tape. So let's talk about a better way, all right? Instead of duct tape, what you need is a leadership survival kit, a go-to pack of essential resources that nourish and protect every part of your leadership body. Because leadership is not about quick fixes. Go ahead, say that out loud to yourself to remind you. Leadership is not about quick fixes. It's about sustaining the whole leader, mindset, relationships, execution, and accountability. Now, I want to give you a sneak peek, y'all. I'm so excited. This is a sneak peek into something I'll be talking a lot more about soon. It's a framework that has helped me and so many others move from burnout and breakdown to clarity, confidence, and momentum. Now, this survival kit is designed to strengthen 4 essential areas of your leadership body. The head, which is your mindset, which is nourished and protected by the resources of your purpose and identity. The second part is the heart, which is your relationships, and it's nourished by the resources of communication and collaboration. Now, the third part is your hands, which is your execution. And that's made effective by your systems and processes and your level of service. And fourth, we have the guts, the guts of leadership, and that's your accountability. And it's protected by your stewardship and your legacy. Now, each area, the head, the heart, the hands, and the guts, it needs care. Each area plays a very vital role, but it also needs specific tools. And here's the deal. If you neglect even one of them, your leadership starts dying. So what's in the survival kit, Bethany? I'm so glad you asked. I can tell you this. It is not duct tape. And it's also not magic wands or magic pills. It's just time-tested, intentional resources. None of these are going to sound like a shocking new, revolution in your head. Identity, purpose, communication, collaboration, systems and processes, service, stewardship, and legacy. Now, these are tools that help you build from the inside out, and that is so imperative, inside out. So you're leading from strength and not scrambling from the stress. So, I love talking real life application. So let's talk about this. Let's do a quick diagnostic, if you will, right? You ready? So let's talk about situation number one. Let's say, and I know probably you've never felt this, but let's just say, go out on a limb and say you're overwhelmed. Maybe you're stuck in decision paralysis. You're spinning in circles with no clear direction. Honestly, your head needs support. Pull out the tools of identity and purpose and ask, what matters most right now? And does it align with my core values? What is my role in this? And it's going to help you move forward. Now, let's talk about a second situation. Maybe your team is falling apart. Your people are frustrated, they're isolated, or you know what? They are just, I am done. I am over it. I just can't even. If that's the situation, it's time to strengthen your heart. Use the tools of communication and collaboration to build trust, connection, and engagement. Now, let's go with a diagnostic of situation number 3. You've got big goals, but nothing is moving forward. You feel like you're walking in wet cement. You're busy, you're spinning, you're busy, you're spinning, but you're just not making progress. It's time to work with your hands. Now, use the tools of systems and processes and service, which is customer focused, stakeholder focused, to remove distractions, streamline what is mission critical, delegate where you can, and take aligned action. You weren't meant to do everything, just the right things. Well, now let's talk about a fourth situation. Let's say you know what you need to do. You have a hard situation ahead of you. Maybe it's a conversation. Maybe it's a decision. I don't know. But, fear or fatigue or even doubt is holding you back from stepping into that difficult situation. Y'all, this is a guts moment, the guts of leadership. It is a call on courage. So you have to get clear about accountability, reconnect with your stewardship, caring for what's been given to you, as well as your legacy, because you're not just managing tasks, you're building a future with people. And let's be honest, sometimes the bravest leadership move that you can do is saying no. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Y'all, maybe it's just taking a nap. Maybe it's just resting for a hot second. So let me ask you this. I want you to reflect on your own situations that you're going through, even though you may or may not have been through all 4 of those situations. Let me ask you something. What is your go-to leadership duct tape? What problem keeps showing up no matter how many times you think you've taped it? Which of the 4 tools do you need to sharpen and to use right now? Think about that. What's your go-to leadership duct tape? And what problem keeps coming back at you no matter how many times you tape it? All right, just pick one. Just one, and then commit to using it this week. And now if you want to go deeper into the head, heart, hands, and guts of leadership and all the tools that I mentioned, I have something exciting. I can't wait to share it, but I can't share it all just now. So I have something very exciting, very personal that's going to help you create a personalized survival plan based on those 4 areas. But I have to hold my tongue on this right now because I'll talk about more of it later. But let me just say this. I have spent the last year, crafting a resource that is going to equip you with the mindset, the relationships, the execution strategies, and courage of accountability to not only survive, but succeed in leadership, especially when it feels like you're stuck in the wilderness of leadership. So I can't share it yet, but I might be sharing some sneak peeks over the next few episodes. So make sure you're following, subscribed, and maybe even tell a friend. Because what's coming, it's not duct tape level good. It's life-changing great. Now, until next time, continue putting in the work of building your life and leadership on the rocks, the essential rocks. God bless. Remember, the most essential rock you can build your life and leadership on is the rock of Jesus Christ. Today's Bible verse comes from Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding.